I want to shift over a little bit to now that Roman Anthony has an 8-year contract with Boston, it
Mhm.
does open up the question of who else on the team deserves an extension here. Can I get your thoughts on this a little bit?
Yeah, this is something that we've been talking about on Talk Sox in the community with you guys about sort of, again, Roman Anthony now marks sort of like the fourth or fifth deal that this front office has done. You have Roman Anthony, Christian Campbell, Zidane Rafaela, Brian Bayo, and if you want to include him, Garrett Crochet. I might even be forgetting a name in there, but the whole idea is that again, the team has picked and chosen its main guys that it wants to lead the team going forward. These young guys in their early or mid 20s. And so obviously the team still has more players. I think the obvious choice is Marcelo Mayer. He's obviously an excellent player, came up as a shortstop, might become sort of the long-term second baseman or third baseman, depending on where like Christian Campbell and Franklin Arias and all these different guys play. I think he obviously he was having a really strong rookie season. Then he had that wrist injury that who knows how long that'll keep him out. But I think he's the third part of the big three that the team had coming into this season. He's now the only one that doesn't have a contract extension. I think that if you feel good about his health, if you feel good about his performance, which I certainly do, then yeah, I think he's the obvious next guy that that will be talked about in contract extension talks. But again, there's obviously plenty of people, and one that I know in particular, you want to vouch for, for guys that the Red Sox will try to extend.
Yeah, I mean, going off of yours for a sec, there was these, like you said, there's these big three minor league players that everybody was talking about, Roman Anthony, Campbell, and Mayer, and it's kind of like waiting to see what's going to happen. Nothing happened during the trade deadline that was truly like, oh my God, what happened? And anything can happen over the summer and next year.
Mhm.
And because we don't have an extension for Mayer yet, they might be saying, look, we just invested a lot of money into Roman Anthony. We invested a lot of money into Campbell. Maybe Mayer is the third slot where we're like, well, we just put a lot of money into these two. But I'm in complete agreement with you. He's still a great player. I think he should stick around in Boston for quite a good amount of time. I also believe somebody who's been on the team a little longer that I think should get the extension is Wilyer Abreu.
Mhm. Yeah.
Somebody who's really great in the outfield. He doesn't have maybe as hot as a temper as somebody like Jaron Duran, and is a power hitting threat. I think it's a no-brainer to keep him on the team for a lot longer.
Yeah, I agree. I think, in my estimation, again, because we've talked about this before, where now you have Anthony in probably left field, you have Raphael in center field, so that leaves one open outfield spot. Obviously, you and I have talked about potentially moving Jaron Duran. I know that's not the most popular thing in the Talk Sox community, but eventually, at some point, you have one outfield spot for one of Wilyer Abreu or Jaron Duran, and I think I agree with you that Abreu is the guy worth keeping long term. I think he's the better defender. He's a couple years younger. He only just turned 26. Now, he does have, I think, like 4 years of team control remaining after 2025. So again, he's one of these young guys that have team control. And part of this extension talks is, do you sort of forego these cheap years of control where you are guaranteed to have this guy on the team for just a couple $1 million or whatever it is, so that you can buy out future free agent seasons at cheaper prices now. So again, I agree with you that Willie Abreu is absolutely worthwhile to sort of pick up those negotiations with, especially because if you do that with him, you have your whole outfield locked in for the next 6, 7+ years. I mean, that's a really valuable thing for a team to know that you have three really good defenders in the outfield. I mean, we've seen it with the Cubs this year. Another team that we cover, they have three really good outfield defenders, and it makes a world of a difference out there. Obviously, it helps that all of them hit as well.
Right.
So again, I agree with you that I think Willie Abreu is definitely worthwhile to talk about that with. And then one other guy I'll bring up is just Carlos Narvaez, obviously rookie catcher. He's been really, really great this season, filling in that starting catching role. Again, I'm actually going to sort of take a different approach. I don't know if I'd extend him right now, and I only say that because he has so many years of cheap team control. I think he's got more. I think he's got 5.5 right now, and 2 at the league minimum, which is just again, when you start extending all these players, yes, it's cheaper than you get them in like free agency, but obviously you're still paying them however many millions of dollars. Your payroll isn't unlimited. And so you can only extend so many guys before the payroll starts to get bloated. I think it's worth waiting on Narvaez just because he's an older guy. He's almost 27, even though he's a rookie. He's a catcher. You know, catchers don't always hold up the best. Maybe it's not worth engaging with him just yet, at least maybe unless he has another great season next year. But I mean, all in all, again, it's a testament to what the Red Sox are building that we beyond the 4 or 5 guys that have already been extended, there's still 3 or 4 more guys that are worth talking about in this way.
Yeah, I would completely agree. And again, if it's not Narvaez now, even though he's still a rookie, you let it
Mhm.
marinate for a little bit. If it doesn't work, you can always trade him. I mean, he's not going to be worth maybe as much money as other players, but either trade him or we have plenty of prospects in the wing that are waiting for their chance. So I'm in agreement with you. Maybe not right now. Maybe next year in 2026. We'll see how that looks. But we'd love to hear your comments as well. Do you think these players deserve the extension? Do you think other players deserve an extension? We'd love to hear your comments and remarks in the comment section below.